This is one of the stranger questions on the digital SAT and also played the same role on the previous SAT. It's the idea of splitting an equation into two functions. So a little background on this question. If you get an intersection, the thing you're supposed to do is get both equations in the y equals format and set them equal. For instance, if I had y equals 5x squared and y equals 3x minus 7. Let's just say I had, taking it a step further, 3x equals y plus 7, let's say. So let's say I wanted to find the intersection of these two functions. The first thing I would do is move the second one into y equals 3x minus 7, and then I would set the two functions equal. I would say 5x squared equals 3x minus 7, and whatever the solution for x in that quadratic situation is going to tell us the place where those two lines would have intersect. So for intersections, we get them both in the y equals format and we set them equal. So now the opposite is true. If we see an equation, in other words, two things set equal already, we can imagine that this was two functions that are being shown to us as an intersection. So we're seeing the intersection of this blue function and this green one. Really, really weird idea. But in any case, when you get used to these, you just go ahead and say y equals the first one and y equals the second one. So we've got them both in the y equals format. And now this brings us to the idea that, well, first of all, we know these are lines because x and y are to the first power. But when you have two lines, the number of solutions for two lines is the idea that you are having the lines hit once where the slopes will be different, never zero solutions where the slopes are the same and the y-intercepts are different, or infinite solutions where the slopes and the y-intercepts are the same. So here, it makes more sense now that we're told that these things have no solution. In other words, these two lines are two parallel lines that never hit. So that means that if we find the slopes, we can just set them equal. So distributing the 3 here, 3kx plus 39. And now we have our two equations in y equals mx plus b format. And the two slopes are 3k, that's your slope there, and 48 over 17, that's your slope there. And if we have no solutions, which we don't, then it means the slopes are equal. So we can say 3k equals 48 over 17. And the next thing to do is to get the k by itself. K is being multiplied by 3, so we can divide it by 3. Now, dividing by 3 is the same thing as multiplying by 1 over 3. Just a quick review of that idea. If I have a number and I'm dividing it by 3, that's really the same as having my number and dividing it by 3 over 1. And then we have keep, change, flip, which is the idea that division is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So x divided by 3 over 1 is the same as x times 1 over 3. So that's what we did here on the left-hand side. We divided by 3. We showed it as dividing by 3. On the right-hand side, we showed it as multiplying by 1 over 3. So it cancels on the left. And on the right, we have 48 times 1 over 17 times 3. We can just cross simplify that. 48 divides by 3, it becomes 16. And the answer is 16 over 17.